This local sports report is brought to you by the Inn of Waterloo and Conference Center. Check us out for all your conference, event, and guest room requirements for any of your out-of-town fans. Let us be part of your home team. We are here to exceed your expectations. Book now by calling 519-804-1130 or visit theinnofwaterloo.com.
Plans are in the works for a spring 2021 tackle football season. Colin Langlois is the new head coach of the senior varsity team with the Waterloo Region Predators. That was announced a couple of weeks ago. First of all, congratulations, Colin. I know you didn't get to coach last year with the JVs like you had hoped, but a new opportunity this year potentially to coach the senior varsity Preds. What's the best part about being part of this program?
First of all, thank you. Thanks for having me on the call. I always love when we get a chance to chat. Loving the opportunity to just get back on the field again, talk to some, guys that love the sport, give back what, I wish I had when I was, 17, 18, 19 years old. Excited to, take on the senior team. I think we can do a little bit more, coach a little bit more, teach a little bit more. Excited for that opportunity and, love the organization, love being in the Waterloo facility. So that's fun. So hoping we can, get there by the summer.
What is your style of coaching, Colin, and what can players expect from you? Obviously, you've got some high-end talent with the Predators. We've seen that the last couple of years. They've had a great senior varsity program for quite a while now and a lot of success. But the players that don't know you, here's an opportunity for you to introduce yourself to them.
Yeah, I guess my coaching style, rooted in discipline, I guess. A lot of preparation. We like to out-scheme and be ready for everyone. We're all about efficiency, so we don't like wasting time. But we don't take the players' time lightly, and same with the coaches, so we like to be as efficient as possible. We've got a great group of coaches that are, we're all friends, which, adds to some of us played together when we were younger. We all went on and played university programs. We all take a different aspect from that and bring it to this. Preparation is our biggest thing. We're going to watch film, we're going to practice efficiently, we're going to out-scheme everyone, or we're going to try to, and, we also have a big commitment to special teams. So.
I know one of the goals of the Predators program is to help athletes reach the next level. You played at Guelph for a number of years. You spoke about it there. How do you guys do that? And what is your vision in terms of helping these young men get to either OUA football or U Sports football?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that we try to do is help our players achieve whatever goals it is. We've got over 10 guys that played in different youth sports teams or NCAA teams. Someone who played in the CFL for a bit. So a bunch of different experience, but we're also professionals. Most of us, or all of us have careers or we're working on, a career. So it's not just on the field, but having that experience, having some of our guys who still coach in the OUA, around, we like to practice like in the same way that an OUA program would or a youth sports program would. So important to us for the guys that do want to play youth sports and do want to make that jump. We like to just make sure that they're, watching film, doing the things they have to, preparing their bodies the right way, getting a bit of that exposure too. So I think there's three parts really to it. So one is the performance. Obviously, the players have to be able to perform on a field and get seen that way. It's the image, right? So you got to conduct yourself a certain way, have that right attitude. That's, of course, something that, all youth sports coaches are going to be looking for. And then, the last one is just exposure, which really comes from being, with playing for good programs. And there's a ton of them in the OPFL, which is exciting. A lot of the associations with the universities, of course, that's with Waterloo and, all the other different programs with their different universities, which is great. So it also means that those OPFL games really bring out the crowd of youth sports scouts and and coaches, which makes it pretty fun. And as far as getting kids ready, it's getting them in front of the right people, practicing the right way, preparing the right way, and then also teaching them the right technique. So
and you've got the right pieces in place to be able to teach them the right way. You mentioned the coaching staff there just a minute ago, some outstanding names with some high caliber coaching abilities and resumes. Coming to mind right away, Stephen Warner, who was an outstanding wide receiver with the University of Waterloo for a number of years. He will be your offensive coordinator. And Dylan Gordon, who is the head coach of the Huron Heights Huskies senior team in WIXA football, played at U of T, had a wonderful career. He'll be your defensive coordinator. Speak to those two specifically, the experience they bring and what you like the most about having them on your coaching staff, Colin.
Yeah, I mean, I think Steve just really understands the game. Really good student of the game. Very passionate. He's going to be a teacher. So it's in his blood. He really understands the kids and understands their motivation, and everyone that plays for him loves him. So I mean, if you watch your Drake video from earlier last week, it's raves about Steve at the end, which 2 years after the fact, after he coached him, which is something you love to see. Also, I think Steve being a recent graduate, a little bit more modern with his playbook. We're going to do some fun things, emulate some of the things that we saw that were successful at Waterloo last year, and we also draw on quite a bit on what U of T did last year with some of that offense. We take a lot of that. So Steve's a real student of the game, and then Dylan, Dylan's a great friend, great coach, has a, again, really high football IQ, playing at Toronto, which, a up and coming program. And at the time he had a ton of success there. I know back in 2013, they beat Laurier in their homecoming, and that was pretty significant, time for him and that program. And, he brings a lot of, again, he's also a teacher too, which helps when it comes to teaching, kids. I have to give it to Steve and Dylan that they're better at that than I am, which is great. So plays on their strengths. So he understands the game in a way that a lot of people don't. Loves bringing pressure and is aggressive, and has a great mindset and a great attitude. Same thing with him. Everyone that plays for him loves him. Always get good feedback from all the players and parents. So very excited to have both of them around.
Another coach I want to touch on quickly is Jake Soskowski, who currently plays for the Waterloo Warriors football team. He's going to be joining your staff this year as the linebackers coach. Another local kid who played here. He was outstanding, playing at Sir John A. Macdonald for all those years under Josh Alexander, and a really good kid. And like you said, football IQ, I think, is so important and relatable. How do you look at Jake and him fitting into your coaching staff?
Well, I think it's exactly what we want to see, right? Anyone that comes through any successful program and is, coached by, some good people, not just coaches, but just good people. And Jake, the short time that I've gotten to know him, seems like a great person. He clearly has a high football intelligence, very well spoken. Very excited to have him. I think the goal of coaching this and helping develop these young men is that one day they want to come back and say, "Hey, Colin, I want your job. Like, I want to help kids. I want to pass the torch on." And I'd love for that. We're doing the right thing. We're helping the kids in the right way, and seeing a story like Jake, it's great.
Best case scenario, we get back on the field in May, right, for the OPFL season. That's what everybody's hoping for. You, me, the players, Jake, Dylan, Adrian, Eric, everybody. I can go on and on and on. What is this team going to look like, or what are the strengths of this group going to be if we're able to hit the field in May, Colin?
We're focused quite a bit on recruiting right now. We've got a good number of guys signed up already. We're nearing in on a full roster size, which is great. Tons of skilled position guys, tons of athletes, which is great. I think we're rounding out pretty well. We're just hoping that the season comes together and, we can safely get on the field. Obviously that's the number one priority. So, some things are bigger than football, and unfortunately, public health is one of them right now.
And I think that's the number one question that everybody has right now, right? You can't answer that question. I understand that. Waterloo Region Minor Football can't answer the question. But what would your message be to the players and the parents who see this about what they can do right now to make sure that they're ready? And second of all, what an OPFL season might even look like?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the season goes, like I'm hoping we have something later. I'm assuming it's going to get pushed out sometime in the summer. I mean, I can contemplate, a couple different scenarios. I don't actually know what the plan is going to be. It all depends on, what happens with the government and the vaccine rollout and everything. So timing is hard. As far as what we can control and what we're going to do. So I know it's a really hard time. A lot of these players and parents are, struggling with a lost year, and it's a lot of excitement right now from people that want to get back to football. What we're going to be doing is starting with some QB installs in February. We're just going to do Zoom meetings once a week. Then starting with the whole offense and whole defense, we'll do installs and weekly virtual teachings in March. So we're going to start preparing that way until we can get on the field. So I know it's not ideal, but it's what we have. So we're going to work with what we can, right? We're going to do what we can.
With that said, it isn't ideal, and I understand that, and everybody understands that. But with that said, let's put a positive spin on it too, and look at, okay, what can these players learn from an install perspective? And maybe even right now, even though we're all at home, working out downstairs, going for a run, just staying mentally active, I think is huge right now. When you combine all those things together, if the players are able to do that, they get into the install meetings, and we have a season. Wow, wouldn't that be a perfect recipe?
Yeah, that's exciting prospect. I mean, the nice thing is that, getting those mental reps, I think at this age, it's probably for a lot of these guys, the first time they're watching film, or it'll be, year 2 or 3 of watching film. So it's still pretty fresh. And certainly teach them, how to really, watch and monitor, what's going on, how to self-assess, how to take constructive criticism as well. Also just, some of those things that I didn't learn until I was in university, and I think I can speak for most of my coaching staff that we wish we would have learned that when we were in high school. So a little bit more emphasis on that now, I think might go a long way. Might help them down the road.
If I see you soon, Colin, that means things have moved in a good direction. So I hope to see you soon. If you'd like to find out more about registration and what's upcoming for Waterloo Region football in the spring 2021 tackle football season, you can check out their website at waterlooregionfootball.com. Appreciate the time, Colin. And like I said, hope to see you soon.
Great. Thanks, Darren.
For more highlights, visit our website, 519sportsonline.ca. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.